Hi, my name is Lorena Sadie. I am the founder and managing attorney here at Sadie Law Group. I wanted to do a video today on Chapter 13 trustee payments because I think I've seen and heard every complaint, excuse, whatnot in regards to these payments, and I want to make sure to set the record straight so that not only my clients, but anybody that's looking at Chapter 13, they understand how a Chapter 13 payment works and why it could change. So, when you consult with your attorney, you're providing us an estimate. You're providing us, you fill out an intake form, usually a very lengthy intake form. Now, we pull credit reports, we'll do lien searches, but a lot of this is also estimated on what you're providing to us. So we're going over this with you, but we're going off of your information, and that's fine. A lot of times people are in a rush to file bankruptcy. There's things going on. Sometimes they file and they didn't even know they had things that were out there. That's okay, but understand this. When we're writing your initial plan and we're providing, look, this is what we estimate your payment to be. And for our firm, look on your plan analysis. We got real big notice, like this is an estimate. This is based on the information. It can change because I have literally had folks not disclose things and then want to argue why their payment, well, you said my payment was $300 a month. Yes, but an $80,000 tax claim came in that you didn't tell us about. So your payment has to go up. So understand that while you're in a bankruptcy, your Chapter 13 payment may change. There's a lot of reasons why it may change. So let's take a look at them. First of all, it may change, and often the payment does change from the time you file the case till the time the case gets confirmed because you're providing estimates. And so when the real numbers come in, right, when all your claims finally come in, then we can shake everything out and say, okay, this is what it needs to be. So don't freak out. Don't go on a tirade against your attorney because we're telling you these are the facts. This is what came in. And we only have 60 months. 60 months is it. 60 months is it. And you know what? I know this sounds cold, but the court doesn't care if you're like, I can't afford it, I can't do it. Then they'll say, then you can't be in 13. Maybe you need to do Chapter 7 and you need to let some assets go. Which that may be a time when you really need to look and see, all right, I can't do this. I really do need to liquidate. But you have to be able to afford it. So your payment will probably change from when you got your consult, right, with your estimate to what it finally shakes out to be. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So understand that. Now, the other time a payment can change is you're in a case, but your income goes up. So every year you are required to provide the court a copy of your income tax. And I'm not talking, you made an extra $3,000 a year. Okay, that's not going to change. That's not going to cause your payment to change. But what could cause your payment to change is if you got like a $30,000 raise, right? Well, now you're making more money. And you need to let your attorney know because if that happens, we're probably going to need to adjust your payment because now you can afford to pay more folks back. If your spouse starts to make more money than when you initially filed, we need to know about that too because that's going to affect your household budget. You have more money now. So again, that's something you need to speak with us about because maybe your payment's going to have to go up. The other reason your payment may go up or will go up if you have this in your plan is if you have a step plan. And what that is, and I have a video that I just released about that, but what a step plan is, there's something in your case that's going to pay off before the end of your case. Most of the time, it's like a 401k loan. It could be a lease. Maybe you're leasing furniture and then that's paid off. Or maybe your spouse has a car payment, then the car payment is going to be paid off. So now you have this extra cash. Disposable income is what we call it. So the court says, all right, boop, let's knock your payment up. Now, your payment will go up because of those reasons. It's going to be in your plan. Again, in my video, I also talk about schedule a call with me if you're worried that, you've had something happen where you won't be able to afford it. Maybe your expenses have gone up or your income is decreased. We can resolve it, but we have to file a motion. So just be aware of that. So that's another reason that your payment could go up. Now, sometimes people's payments can go down because maybe when they filed the case, they were making a lot of money and so they had to pay more folks back. But now their income has gone down and they need to decrease that. So it can go either way. most of my folks, unfortunately, they're making more money. Well, as fortunately or unfortunately, but they're making more money. So they'll have to do an adjustment. But just understand, the payment that you may be given initially when you file, no one's defrauding you. No one's trying to, it's the carrot. Oh, look, it's going to be this. Oh, nope, it's that. It's based on what you really owe. And the only way we're going to know that is we have to get into the case. And that's why, for my firm, that's why we have a very lengthy intake form. That's why we're going through things with folks very in depth, pulling their credit reports, doing a lien search to try to get that as close as possible so that no one's having a heart attack over a payment increase. And like I said, just the other day I had somebody and they got a very large tax claim. And at least I will say they were like, oh yeah, I figured that was coming. So, we fixed it, but we had to treat it. So we had to squish that into the 60 months. And of course, it's going to make your payment go up. So just keep in mind when you are looking at Chapter 13, it's not unusual for a planned payment to change, because I'll have people, now that's going to be it, right? That's it. Like I'm like, I can't tell you that. I don't know what's going to happen. Most people, their cases are for 5 years. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. Right now, that's what your payment is going to be. And if anything changes, you got to let me know. So, the great thing about bankruptcy that I always tell folks, it is super flexible, and there's so many ways we can fix things and deal with things. So just talk to us. It's why you hired us. So take advantage of that. For my firm, calendars online. You can go to your Chapter 13 client portal. I have so much information, and I also have everyone that works for me, including myself. All of our calendars are online. So if you have a question, you can schedule a call with us, and we are happy to go through it. I would so much, rather you not assume something and that you schedule a call with me and we work it out, because I do understand it can be stressful if you don't know what's going on, and we want to alleviate as much of that stress as possible. So anyway, I hope you found the video useful, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My information is below, and that's it.